This Alliance Valor 44V14 fifth wheel toy hauler is almost 47 feet long. Let's go see what's inside this beast of a fifth wheel RV. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here at Blue Compass RV today taking a look at this 2025 Alliance Valor 44V14. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen. This is a great floor plan option if you're looking for a fifth wheel RV that has the capability to bring toys along with you, like motorcycles, ATVs, things like that, or if you're just wanting a second bedroom that gives you a lot more space than you might find in a traditional fifth wheel RV with a second bedroom. So this here, it's about 46 feet, 10 inches long. So just 2 inches short of being 47 feet long. So one of the longest fifth wheel RVs out there that you will find. And then with that, the weight on it is 16,116 pounds unloaded. With that, you're going to have your cargo carrying capacity. Let's go ahead and look over here real quick and get all these specs real fast before we go ahead and head inside. Right here, unloaded, we're at 16,116 pounds, fully loaded 20,000 pounds. That gives you a 3,824 pound cargo carrying capacity there. And then on this side here, you can see you also have a water manifold system. Wanted to show this real quick because this is going to be one of the least expensive fifth wheel toy hauler RVs that you can find that will come with a water manifold system here, giving you individual shutoff valves to all of your water lines, so that if you do have a water leak or something of that nature, you're able to shut off water to just that one component that is leaking and not having to shut off water to the entire fifth wheel RV in totality. You also can see your slide out switches here for the slides on this side. That is very convenient. I have those exterior switches on my Alliance Delta travel trailer as well, and I actually have found myself using them even more than I would have initially thought going into purchasing that travel trailer. But we'll come back out to the outside and look at the rest of the outside stuff here in just a moment. Let's go and show y'all what's going on the inside. It does come with a full-time RVing warranty, as all of your Alliance products will. And again, this is the 44V14. It has the glass entry door, but they do the decals over the glass door here, so that kind of matches the exterior, which looks really nice. 101-inch wide body construction, and it is also coming with a single lithium battery as well. As we step inside here, you have the U-shaped kitchen, solid surface countertops inside of this toy hauler, and a real tile backsplash. All of these things definitely get noticed right away compared to some of the, lack of those features in some other fifth wheel toy haulers that might come in a little bit lower price than what this is. And we'll get to the price here in just a second. It's actually right here on the door of the refrigerator. See here in this area, you have your pantry. It does have a light there that will trigger on when you open up that door. It's a little bit narrow of a pantry, but it does have some good depth to it. And we might as well knock this out while we're here. The price on this here at the Dallas store is at $134,995. So that's about what you're looking at with a sales price here. MSRP is $152. And then you can see some of the other things that are on here as well. It looks like you have 640 watts of solar up on the roof. We'll go up and look at that and make sure that's, we'll go up and make sure that's correct. So it says two 400-watt solar panels. You have the lithium battery that it comes with. Love that. And then you can see some of these other things that are listed out here. So really nice floor plan layout for a fifth wheel toy hauler. I think one of the hardest things to find with a fifth wheel toy hauler is something where the living room feels a bit more separated from your kitchen space. So this definitely gives you that. And even still, it can be hard to find ones that have a ample amount of seating space if you're somebody that likes to entertain or just want to have that ability to be able to lay out and comfortably enjoy the interior space of your fifth wheel RV. You can see here with this sectional sofa, I mean, you really get a nice spot to be able to lounge out, kick your feet up. You can see even me being over 6 feet tall, I mean, I have a whole additional cushion length there to spread out, and that would allow me to fully lay down flat across this sofa here, take a nice nap after going out and riding some trails or something like that. Definitely a great spot to be able to do that. You also have a recliner here, and recliner here. This does not have any ability to make out into a bed or anything like that, so it will just have the recliners. And then you also have the flip down armrest here with the USB ports and outlet there in the armrest. Pull down blackout shades on all the windows, so that is going to block out, any light coming into this space, also give you a good sense of privacy at night. And then behind these windows, or behind the curtains, is your window. It has kind of like an epoxy look on the framing of the window pieces here, but no bulky valances except for up over the window right there to kind of hide the mechanism for the roller shade. More storage up above the sofa, so if you're doing more extended camping or just need a spot to put things, you have that additional storage there. And then you have LED lights up through the crown molding here in the ceiling. 3 air conditioners on this fifth wheel RV. All of them are 13,500 BTU ACs. The one here in this living area is not ducted, so you're getting straight cool air shooting down out of the vents right here. You can kind of change the direction of those as you wish, and then it can also shoot out these sides as well. Basically, the idea behind that is instead of doing a ducted system where you're going to have air flowing through ducting vents that are going to be running through the hot cavity of the attic in the roof, this is going to make it so your cool air is just shooting straight down in here and you're not getting any temperature loss from that cool air going into the fifth wheel. Huge window here on the campsite. You have your dining table with a legless table there, so really like that. No really issue getting in and out of the table whatsoever. And then you have some storage underneath the seats here in your dining space. Outlet there as well. And that is pretty much it for that area. Little coffee bar area or a spot that you can just use to put any additional things that you may see fit here. And then you have nice tall storage there. Definitely gonna need a step stool if you're planning on storing things up in those higher spots, as even myself would possibly need a step stool to get up to some of those top shelves there. Storage here around the TV space. So you got huge storage all throughout there. Those are some giant cabinet doors, and they are actually a solid black kind of plexiglass material. You can see they're not actually see-through. Looks to be about a 50-inch screen Sansui TV here, and then you have your electric fireplace. This will have multiple different color options, and it will be an electric heat source for you. Definitely don't need that today, so you can always turn the heat to the off position so that you still have the aesthetic of the fireplace, but there is no heat coming out. And then different brightness levels. Hit the wrong button. There you go. And then you can see your different color options here for the fireplace. As we go back into the garage, you can see it has an insulated garage floor. So that's going to add to the ability for you to be able to use this as, you know, an additional living quarters as well if you want. What a lot of people might do if they want to use this as some sort of additional bedroom is put a rug down on the floor. Gives it a much more residential feel just by doing that alone. You also have a decent amount of wall space and floor space if you want to add something like a dresser into here or a desk or things of that nature. You can see all the wall space you have right here to work with. And then it's a 14-foot garage. You lose a little bit of that length going into the corner right here because of the half bath. So you can see going back into this half bath, porcelain foot flush toilet there, stainless steel sink, and then no medicine cabinet, just a mirror there with your pull down shade on the window. Does have a vent fan up in the ceiling and a light in that space. AC controls for the AC back here in the garage. You have washer dryer connections back here, so if you wanted to do a washer dryer combo unit in the garage, you also can do that, although there will also be washer and dryer connections up in the bedroom up front. A little bit of storage there with some netting space. You have about a 32-inch screen TV here. It's a 12-volt TV, so that's nice. That'll run off your 12-volt system with your battery, so you wouldn't have to be hooked up necessarily to a 50-amp connection to be able to use the TV. Loft space up here. It will come with a ladder to get up to that loft, and you can use that as obviously sleeping space, but a lot of people end up using that for additional storage space as well. Even maybe if you have like some pew-pew devices or stuff like that, a good spot for those. Different ways that can be used. Coming back this way, you have the Happy Jack bunk system, so pretty self-explanatory. I don't have the time today to kind of go through a full demonstration of how every function of this works, but it's pretty simple to explain. First of all, you have your sofas here. These sofas can go up and down this track up here. If you push them all the way to the top, you can drop, or you can basically use the latches up here to allow this bunk to drop down with the sofas. So this bunk can drop down. It'll stop right about here. So you have another bed up top here to sleep on. These beds are about a king size. And then in addition to that, you have this ability for these to flip down. Super easy to use. They drop down like so. And then you have another bed right there that you can lay down on. And if you want more comfort, you can always throw like a mattress topper on top of that space as well. It will have legs that drop down to give it more support down underneath here when needed. And then when you are ready to go back to hanging out mode, you just flip it back like this. You have flip down armrests in the middle, and same thing over here. Finally, in addition to that, you also have the ability to put these up flat against the wall so you can get more width clearance for loading toys into this garage. And then all of this can all be pushed up flat as well and just sit up here so you can load your toys in while you're going down the road. Come out this way. It has the 3-season patio door, so this is a glass door right here, and that is going to extend all the way up the length of the door, although right now they're down, so you have the screens here to let air in. The only thing about them is they are not tinted, so they are just a clear glass on those. You have the pull strap here to open the garage door. I really like that because that allows you to open this garage door from inside of the garage. You don't have to go outside to open it, which is really convenient when you're out at your campsite. Step out here, 3,000 pound rated patio. It's rated for 3,000 pounds in the ramp position. Sorry, 1,500 pounds in the patio position. When you want to drop it down to a ramp, you just disconnect these cables right here. You can see they go into that spot right there. And if you just disconnect that, it will drop down into a ramp. But other than that, you have the patio space to hang out. You have an awning that will come over this space, and it is also prepped to add a backup camera if you may want that, which you might with something this big. It definitely would be handy to have. And then finally, with the towing length on this, or the total length, sorry, being about 47 feet long, you also want to factor in that it's going to be about an additional 8 feet or so off the back here with the length of the patio, as well as the steps that it will come with that are going to connect on the back here and extend out about another 2 feet that direction. So really you're looking at a total overall footprint on this of at least probably about 50, gosh, probably like 52 feet up to like 55, 56 feet when you're looking at having the entire thing set up and open. But the great advantage to an RV like this is it's kind of equipped for everything that you would need to also camp off grid. So if you want to go out into the middle of nowhere and not be in a, traditional campground where it might be harder to find spots that can, fit a 55-foot RV, there are going to be options for that for you as well, more relatively easily than other stuff out there in the market. That's just about everything in here. Really tall slide out boxes. As we come back into the kitchen space, we didn't really go through anything in here, so let's go through some of the stuff real quick. Nice looking refrigerator and freezer. It does have an ice maker on this Furrion refrigerator and freezer, so you have your ice tray down there. You have more space through here. No carpet in the slide outs, no heat vents in the floor. Outlets and USB ports here. It has a USB Type A and Type C connection. Going into the kitchen, stainless steel sink, single basin sink with that, and the retractable faucet. For your trash can, it would actually go in this little designated area right here, so you can drop stuff into there and then go empty it from outside. Big storage throughout this kitchen. They definitely give you some really large cabinet space all through this whole area. Residential size microwave, no convection oven or air fryer combo with that though. 4-burner gas stove. Definitely more of that industrial look. It's the, what is this? The Furrion stove here. So about as big of an oven as you're gonna find in any fifth wheel RV. No storage down underneath there. With your drawers, they are using a solid wood interior construction on those with staples to hold them in place. And then you have 3 drawers in this area, and then you have your little utensil divider right there. In addition to that, all of your drawers are going to have this additional support base right here. I don't know any other brands that are doing this, but it makes a big difference in just reinforcing the strength under here so that bottom doesn't drop out. While you're going down the road, things are bouncing up and down in those spaces, just gives it a lot more strength. Then you have breakers and fuses in here, and it looks like this is going to your battery right there, so you get monitoring of your battery as well. Again, real tile backsplash. All of your controls for the fifth wheel RV are on this panel. You have 12-volt heat pads on your water tanks, so that's going to be a 12-volt electric heat source for your water tanks, in addition to the fact that the furnace will also keep your water tanks warm as well when you're running that. Dimmer switch on your lights, so you can see in the ceiling. You can dim those lights there. Storage space through here. And of course, you have all your slide out controls on those as well. And last bit of storage through here, magnet latches to hold these doors shut. Have that little cubby up in the corner there, definitely a step stool kind of area, and then soft close hinges on those cabinet doors. As we go up into the bedroom and bathroom, steps here with some storage space down underneath there if you want to slip your shoes in that area, grab handle going up into the bathroom. And then it does feel a little bit narrow in here because this door does stick out into the hallway space. So you just kind of feel that a little bit. But when we step into this area up top, there's like some serious pros and cons to some degree. King size bed here in the bedroom. Again, washer dryer connections in the closet, really like the closet space. Going into the bathroom is pretty small. However, you get one of the best shower heights that you are going to find in a fifth wheel toy hauler on the market. I'll show you that in a second and show you just overall heights in general. So when I flip the camera around, you can see here, I'm standing with the shoes on I have today. I'm right at about 6'1", maybe 6'1.5". You can see here, I fit underneath this bar at the shortest point that you're gonna find in this fifth wheel RV. If you're 6'2" or taller, you're definitely gonna start hitting your head on this. And even at my height, I kind of feel the desire to duck when I get underneath here. So that's the shortest spot that you have. Other than that, you're clear for about 6'4" maybe, tops. However, when you step into the shower, it actually steps down a little bit. And in here with the skylight that is huge in this space, you can be up to about 6'8", maybe 6'9", and fit in here. And look at this, I even fit underneath the shower head, which is super rare to find in a fifth wheel toy hauler like this. So I'm really pleased with the size of the shower. It's definitely one of the best that you're going to find out there. It's a molded fiberglass one-piece shower. You can see how the base kind of sits down to the floor level, whereas a lot of other brands will actually have that base up elevated higher than the floor level. So you usually lose some height in the shower. So I don't know how Alliance even does it, where they are able to really tuck the plumbing that's underneath there, underneath the floor level, whereas other brands don't. So pretty impressed with that. You don't have a light here inside of the shower, so no light bar or anything of that nature. So just thinking about like when it's dark at night, you won't have this natural light coming in, and it's just gonna be the lights in this bathroom area that will illuminate the space, which is really just those two lights right there. Although it is a glass shower door, so that light will still bleed in. Soft close toilet seat on your toilet. This is a plastic toilet seat, porcelain toilet bowl. Solid surface countertops in here, stainless steel sink. Here we have liquefied. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can find on Amazon. Gonna make sure that all of the nasty stuff that goes through your toilet decomposes properly and stays smelling fresh and keeping your RV tanks healthy. See your storage space underneath there. Does not have the shutoff valves on the water lines here inside of the RV because of that water manifold system on the outside. Then you can see your storage space back into there as well. Good storage here in the bathroom for it being such a small bathroom. And then you have two hooks here as well. 4 towels, really good location for those. Actually 3, sorry, missed that one. And then you have direct access into your bedroom from the bathroom. So if you have this door closed here, but you want to be able to just step right into the bedroom to be able to change, that's something that you easily can do. King size bed in here, definitely not like a ton of room in the bedroom. A lot of space being allocated for that 14-foot garage and the large living room area. Big storage underneath there, real solid base for the bed. And then it has a decent mattress, but definitely not great. Something you might find yourself wanting to add a mattress top or two, or potentially upgrading. Turning around this way, another 32-inch screen TV. This is also a 12-volt TV in here and a smart TV, so it can run off the battery system. Have hidden storage there. 3 drawers here. And then going back to the closet, on each side of the closet, you'll have this little area here. So shelf up over the top, clothing rod there, and then 2 drawers right here. A little small on those drawers, and then this door will close like so. Then these doors open up, and you have washer and dryer can go in this space right here side by side, still maintaining the shelf and the clothing rod here. So you get a ton of storage even if you do the washer and the dryer, which I think is a rare find as well, where a lot of times the washer dryer is going to take up a whole portion of your overall closet space, whereas here you still get to utilize this space up above the washer and dryer, and then you'll have that same storage on this side of the closet just like we have right here. Finally, underneath here, let's find our outlets. No outlet on this side. You can see the outlet there, but that's really for the washer. Let's see what's over here. Put this back down, and this here is There's latches here to make sure these don't open or move around while you're going down the road. Definitely on your things to check before going on your trip. You can see just one drawer on this side. No outlet in this space. There's a little Winegard satellite connection there though, if you want to do like a satellite TV. Outlets and USB ports, there we go, on the side of the nightstands on both sides of the bed. So those have USB type A and type C ports. Another AC here in the bedroom. This one is ducted into the bathroom space as well. And then dimmer light switches in here, just like you had in the living room. And that is pretty much it on the inside space here. So really nice, good quality fifth wheel toy hauler on the inside. And then there's a bunch of stuff on the outside as well that this comes with that really sweetens up the deal for what you're getting. As soon as we step outside, you have strut assisted steps. So these are weight assisted for you. You don't have to manage the weight of those yourself. You have these really easy push tabs here to adjust the length of the legs of the step, which makes that job a whole lot easier. Alliance does spray ports all over the RV on the outside. So you have a spray port here on the campsite as well as various others that we'll find. Nice long grab handle here with the MORryde safety rail. 2 JBL speakers outside. 3 awnings on this campsite. So one there, one here, and one over this space. Slam latch baggage doors for your exterior storage with magnet latches to hold these up in place. You have your picnic table here. Love that they're incorporating this. This is something I wish was built in my ultralight Delta, because these picnic tables that almost everyone brings, they usually end up on the ground here or on this base here, and then everything else gets thrown on top of them. So they're one of the hardest things to get out when you get to the campsite, and that just gives that a really nice tucked away storage space where it's still easily accessible without having to remove anything else from the storage area. Again, all your manual switches, USB ports out here, outlets there, manual switches, super convenient for being able to just close and open slide outs and awnings right from out here without having to go inside the RV, getting things dirty or finding a phone or anything like that. Just makes that process a whole lot more convenient. Up front, molded fiberglass cap. You have LED light strips here, here, and here. They all have the diffuser bar over them, so they have that nice glowing look. You have the Kurt Rotaflex pin box. This here is a rubber bushing that is going to absorb shock whenever you go over bumps, brake, accelerate, things of that nature. And then it's nice and sealed off up underneath here as well, where some other brands don't add these plastic pieces that kind of seal off this perimeter here, giving it a less clean look, and you can just kind of see more openings up into that space on some other models. Here's your lithium battery that comes with this model from Renogy. You also have in this area here your hydraulic fluid and your hydraulic fluid lines in that space. Have your solar charge controller here. This is definitely a beefed up solar charge controller. Looks like that's a 60 amp or 6, oh my gosh, now I can't remember if it's 60 watts or 60 amp. It's one of the bigger ones that I've seen though, for sure. So I'm pretty sure this is coming with that huge solar capacity up top. We'll see that in just a second. 2 battery disconnect switches there, or sorry, one's a battery disconnect and one is a solar disconnect switch. Then you can see wrapped flooring up underneath here as well, so you don't see like bare exposed wood. You have some lights in this space and this toy hauler garage style flooring material here. There's your docking light switch. Again, slam latch baggage doors on this side as well. Auto leveling controls. 2 30-pound propane bottles will come on this fifth wheel RV. Then you have another spray port right here. You have hot and cold water going to your spray ports on the outside of this fifth wheel RV. So this is where you control the temperature on those spray ports. Really nice function being able to have warm water come out of your spray ports no matter where it's at on the fifth wheel. Again, slide out switches, and then that's pretty much everything in that area. Has a 12 gallon, I believe, or it might be 16 gallon. Let me verify this real quick. So surprisingly, I couldn't find the exact size online, but I'm near certain it's a 12 gallon gas and electric water heater there. Cable driven slides on your smaller slide out mechanisms here, and then you're gonna have a through frame rack and pinion style slide out for your larger slide there. Spot for your trash can here. Again, you have that opening here so that you can drop trash into the space and then empty it out from out here, or just use that however you best see fit. Coming along this way, triple axle toy hauler, has 7,000 pound axles, has the MORryde CRE 3000 suspension system here, so a little bit more premium suspension system. Plus they add this improved running gear here. This whole frame piece right here that's added on gives it a lot more strength and rigidity whenever you are turning or just doing any kind of towing practices here with fifth wheel RVs. There's a lot of models out there that will not have that additional support there, and sometimes they do have issues with like cracking and things like that happening in this actual portion of the fifth wheel, and that is usually what they upgrade to whenever that issue occurs. So they're just doing that standard from the factory here to prevent that from occurring. Down underneath here, fully enclosed underbelly. All your water tanks and water lines sit above the enclosed underbelly, so your furnace will keep them warm, and you have the 12-volt heat pads on the water tanks as well. See your fuel tanks down underneath there. You have 60 gallons of fuel capacity. Black tank flush valve right here. You have the fuel pump, so 30 gallons of that fuel capacity will go to the fuel pump. Then you have your ladder here to get up onto the roof. It does go flat against the sidewall here when you are not using it, and it has a 250-pound capacity. As we climb up here, so you got your support right here to grab onto. These seals up on the roof, these are your most vulnerable points for water leaks on any RV pretty much. Same with the seals along the sides. And it is part of being a responsible RV owner from day one that you get up here and check these seals to make sure there's no cracks or holes or tears or anything like that in the seals. And you should be checking those very regularly. If you haven't seen my videos on my RVs or junk segment on this channel, I had that on my travel trailer RV and I fixed it, and I have not had any roof leaks. So that's just part of being an RV owner, is you got to be mindful of those things and protect your investment. 2 400-watt solar panels, so that is 800 watts of solar up here on the roof with the 60 amp hour solar charge controller. I mean, that is quite a bit of solar capacity there, so that is pretty impressive as well. That basically is just going to keep your batteries charged and then also give you the ability to run things like outlets inside of the RV off of the inverter. But that's everything up here. Let's hop back down. Last couple things on the outside here. So you have the patio set up here around this, what is it called? I guess the gate set up around the patio here. And then you have another awning that comes out over the top of the patio there. Along this side, you have your air compressor. So it does come with this MORryde air compressor. And then that is just about everything on this fifth wheel RV. Of course, if there's anything I missed, any questions you have, let me know down below in the comments, and add to any information I might have missed there too, if there's something I missed that you might know. But that's all I got for y'all. If you're looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description to help you out with finding a dealership close to you, as Alliance RV has over 100 different stores in 33 different states, so lots of different areas we can help you out at. And that's all I got for y'all. Again, price on this one here with all the options. Let's go inside and make sure that I didn't miss anything, because this one is pretty loaded up with a lot of stuff. Some of the things aren't standard. Let's see here. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything on here. This is the build sheet, so you can always pause this video here and see the build sheet for this exact one if you want to. But you can see the factory options that they added. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Okay, this has the off the grid pack. That's what it is. That's the biggest upgrade for sure, is it has that 800 watt solar system, has a 60 amp solar charge controller with the lithium battery and the battery monitor. So that there is a like $2,000 package with that. But that is just about everything. Again, sales price on this is right at about $134,995. And we're here to help you out when you're ready to find your next RV. So that link is down below in the comments or description of this video to help you get started. And that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.